And away we go. Turn that music down because you want to hear this. Hello, everybody. The show's beginning. And I hope you all are ready for the weekend. So, good morning, everybody. It's Friday, and we're going to do just kind of a lighthearted list, even though I got tons of articles open. I'm not going to get to them all. I already know that. But there's a few that I really want to talk about. One about war, which seems to be creeping up the door, creeping up on us. And then also we got to talk about we're going to talk a little bit about Dr. Fauci again, and also about well, there's some immigration issues we got to talk about. So we're going to do those three things. Those are the three biggies. Plus, Gunfox found an article and something I was already talking about, so I'm going to use that one. Thank you, Gunfox, by the way. And it's Friday, so it may be a little discombobulated. However, what I do want to remind you, and this is very important, next week I'm going to be celebrating 5 years of this show. And I want to see if I can get your help on maybe doubling the audience just for 1 week. See if we can get maybe like 100 people in here on any day, one day next week. I just want to see if I can hit 100 people. Now, granted, I'm going to be making get on the horn and trying to get some guests in. And a lot of times when guests come, I bring some of their audience. But it would help if you could do it too. I'd really appreciate it. By the way, if you want to sponsor the show, I'm going to pin the Superstar donor link to the top. That's always nice when you do that. I appreciate that, And, we'll figure it out. But I'd love to see if we could get just 100 people here one day. and we'll see if that happens. So anyway, should we start the show? Johnny, will you turn that down a bit? It's actually just turn it off. Thank you, sir. Here we go. Johnny, play the intro.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, the one and only P-Dog Knight.
All right. Thank you, Alyssa. Johnny, stop the music and let's get this thing going. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as P-Dog Knight on the internet. Welcome back to the P-Dog Knight channel on this Friday, the 12th of January 2023. Yes, it's Friday the 12th. We dodged a bullet. It's not Friday the 13th. And, yesterday, I was looking on the internet and I saw that Rand Paul was going to make a big announcement today about the presidential race in 2024. And I was expecting it to be something really earth-shaking or whatever. And I'll tell you what it was in a minute. But he did get the cover page today. And there's a lot of stuff to talk about. And I have articles open like crazy. But I'm pretty much not going to get to a whole lot of them. So, but instead, I just want to talk about the few things I want to talk about, and then we'll talk in the chat. And it is Q&A day, even though I didn't put it in the links today. But I want to make sure that I get to Q&A today. So I don't have a particular Q&A that I have in mind yet. Maybe we'll figure out one during the show, and then you can drop your questions, or you can do, ask me anything too. But I prefer, doing some kind of a Q&A thing today where I tell you the question and you give me the wrong answer. So we'll try that if I get to it. But anyway, no, I'm going to get to it. At 15 past the hour, I'm going to stop whatever the hell I'm doing and go to the Q&A. We're just going to talk to the chat. So we'll see what happens. So let's start though by saying hi to everybody like I always do. First in the chat over on Rumble, Mr. Avocados Diabli gets the bell. Thank you, sir, for your service. And also good morning to Jimmy Das Hotep and Mr. Mike Savage Blarg, and also TC's in the house. Nice to see you over there on Rumble. Nice to have you join us today. On YouTube, first in the chat is also, wait a minute. Oh, there's a new winner on YouTube. The first in the chat on YouTube is Mr. Rotten Corpse. Yeah. Way to go, Rotten Corpse. You edged him out. As opposed to edged him. Stop it. Don't even go there. Also, good morning, Avocados Diabli, of course, is here. And good morning, Somnambul Nation. Thank you for tweeting out the show. She's always there. Somnambul Nation is always the first person to put the show on the YouTubes. Or not the YouTubes, Twitter, the app formerly known as Twitter called X, and I appreciate that. Also, good morning to Zed the Snarky, Jay Pylon from Hotep Nation. Good morning also, Mike Savage, blogs. I already said Zed the Snarky. I almost said it twice. Number one is in the house. Good morning, sir. JB is here. GDSOB is here. Welcome. Green Badger Outdoors. Mr. Tyre Alexander, the Gentleman Lynch, is here. I gotta find some new epic music for you though. That one's too long. I need something a little more. Just bam. Just that's because anyway. But it's fun to do it. Well, not for now. TC's in the house. Also, good morning. Also to I'm scrolling slowly. K-Show's in the... Hey, K-Show, what's happening? Good morning also to Aaron Meredith and Attack Alpaca and Zero the Hero. Wait, welcome back. Also, Anonymity, T2, I'll be back, is here. Good morning. I feel like romper room right now. Patio Furniture, what's up? Good morning. Anna Lynn, good morning. Shady Grin, yo, what's up? It's Lord Stanhope, Sean DW, Robert Banks, and Tyler F, Seamus Derby. Seamus, wait, whoa, well, welcome back. I haven't seen you for a while either. And also, you're Ridiculous Lunatic. So a lot of old schools coming back for the day. I love to see it. Again, next week. Oh, and Bishop's in the house. Nice to see you. So, again, next week is the 5th anniversary of the show. And I'm kind of flying by the seat of my pants here. I knew it was coming up, but I couldn't even remember how many years I've been doing this. And then I looked it up, and I'm like, oh, this is the 5th anniversary. That's a big one. Every 5-year anniversaries are really a big deal. So, like I said, I really hope we can get a lot of people coming to the show next week. Especially, I want to see some new faces, because then the people who are here a lot can teach the new people how to do the thing. You know what I mean? So, I'm looking forward. And I know Gunfox is here somewhere. Gunfox dropped oh, by the way, Gunfox did, by the way, drop a Hamilton tip jar. And now, unfortunately, I reset the Streamlabs after that. But still, Gunfox, you are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Good morning, Slim Tito 02. I see you there. Thank you, Gunfox, who said breaking news: U.S. and UK attack. Yeah, we're going to talk about what's going on in Yemen. It's interesting because there's some of the Democrats are really upset about that, which I understand. I'm not thrilled that we're on the brink of another war by any stretch of the imagination. But the reaction by some of the Democrats on this is interesting. It's really interesting. And unfortunately, what happened here? It's gone. Oh no! What did I do with it? Well, hopefully it's there anyway. But we'll get into that after we get through some of the things that are trending. Oh my gosh, Richo's in the house too. What's up, Richo? Is Gunny here? I don't see Gunfox here. I don't see Gunfox in the chat, but I do see Richo, and I haven't seen Richo for a long time. My husband, friend from down under, Richo. Nice to see you. And also, I wonder, is this a post bar, Richo? Like I don't know what time. I always forget what time it is. It's like sometime early in the morning in Australia, and so we'll see what happens. Anyway, all right, let's get into some of the trending topics real quick. Before I do that, though, I want to say thank you to some people. People who tweeted out or have shared the stream. By the way, share the stream. But first, of course, Somnambule Nation, always Johnny on the spot. Good morning. Thank you, Jimmy Das Hotep. Shared it in a couple different ways. TC, again, also a couple different ways. Tyrannus Alexandrius. Alexander, thank you for tweeting out the show, reposting my tweet. And I think there's a few others too who've done it. I haven't, I'm trying to catch up here. Somnambule Nation, Tyler F. I think I got everybody. So thanks for doing that. Share this on your, wherever you think someone would want to watch it. You know what I mean? Use your words, man. I know I'm struggling. It's Friday, and I didn't get much sleep last night. We have, by the way, I'm enjoying very much having my daughter and the baby and my son-in-law. Although I don't see my son-in-law much because he works when I'm not, and I work when he's not, so we don't get to see each other. But it's really been great so far just to have them here. I'm excited, and I can hear the lovely Lily upstairs just babbling away. She'll be 2 in March. And so she's 18 months, right? Yeah, 18 months. No, she's 21 months old. So, and she started to talk. She started to put sentences together. She's saying a lot of things. And every once in a while, she pops out some words that you go, oh, I didn't even know you knew that word. So I've learned, especially in just these couple of days, that I got to be very careful what I say around her, because she picks up everything now. And I don't want her, dropping some Effenheimers or some stuff. And so I'm trying not to swear during the show, although I don't think they're watching right now. We'll see. So anyway, but that's been fun. So, wait, more notifications. Let me see what else is here. Thank you. Oh, it's Sound Nation, Tyler F. Okay, I'm doing good. Okay, I got all the thank yous so far. So let's get into the main topics today. Now, we always talk about special days, and there's always a special day. I got to make sure there's no uncovered skin, so to speak, in the topic today. Today, apparently, it is, we have special days. A lot of times, Tall Person will drop a special day in the chat. A lot of times, we'll just, there's some hashtags and stuff, and sometimes it'll be like a saint. The Catholic Church honors some saints on certain days, or it's a holiday, or just the holidays that people put out there, National Unfiltered Honey Day or some shit like that. But today is an extra special day. An extra special day. And I don't know if any of you know about this, but today is none other than it's Kiss a Ginger Day. It's Kiss a Ginger Day. And I've tried, as I'm scrolling through the Kiss a Ginger Day. What is this? Okay. Oh, well, I got to be careful. No, okay, she's covered. She's wearing clothes. So as I scroll through this, you see a lot of people posting their faces. Now, I don't know why the dog here is on here, but it's Kiss a Ginger Day, right? And I thought, well, no, I want to find my favorite Kiss a Ginger post. Okay, this is that's a little race there. But I'm not going to kiss a cat. But I think I found my favorite Kiss a Ginger post on Twitter, or X, the app formerly known as X Day, and that would be this one. This is my favorite Kiss a Ginger post that would be making olive kiss gingers, and I think that was funny. So, it's National Chicken Curry Day too. Is that, well, what nation? not in the United States. Good morning, Simon Wolfwood. What's up? What nation? And GDSOB, I don't know. I just said hi. Okay. Hello, here's me, Ginger, and unkissed. See, it's National Kiss a Ginger Day. And I have a distinction that, my wife had red hair when I met her. And so, and so even though she doesn't have red hair anymore, I will kiss a ginger today. She's an honorary ginger. Good morning, Amazing Disgrace, too. Who's supposed to give consent in this case? Well, I believe the ginger. But now I do have I do happen to always have ginger root on hand in my household because I like to make ginger tea. And so maybe I could kiss that ginger too, but that'd be weird because it's just kissing an ugly root vegetable. But anyway, so it is Kiss a Ginger Day. I hope you're all celebrating. Now, I mentioned earlier today that Rand Paul was going to make a big announcement. Okay. And in fact, let me show you what he did. I think this was yesterday. Maybe let's see if he did this here. Because right now, because of Rand's announcement, there is another thing trending today. And so here it is. This is what Rand did yesterday. And he said he's going to make a big announcement. Okay. And so here it is. Rand Paul says, I've stayed out of the Republican presidential primary so far, but I've seen enough. That's why tomorrow I will have something important to say. Don't miss it. Now, people are speculating that he was going to make an endorsement, right? He's going to endorse one of the candidates, or possibly, even maybe, just maybe, make. Oh yeah, Jimmy. See, so someone said, "Send Jimmy Das Hotep some love." Jimmy's a ginger. There you go. Kiss a Ginger Day. Anyway, or maybe even make a late bid to jump into the race. Like this was a big, he had this announcement. Here he is. Here's what he said.
Hey everybody. As you know, I've been pretty quiet about the presidential race, which is kind of unusual for me. But tune in tomorrow morning, and I've got something very important to say on the presidential race.
So there's speculation that he's going to jump in the race, or maybe make a big endorsement of Donald Trump, or make a big endorsement of Ron DeSantis, somebody, anybody. But today, he did make a announcement today, and it's got something trending that maybe we didn't want trending. And here it is. Here's his announcement. Nikki Haley believes in nearly unlimited foreign aid. We have sent over $100 billion we don't have to Ukraine already, and she wants more. But this isn't new. In her book, With All Due Respect, she wrote, quote, humanitarian assistance will always be a priority for the United States. We will always be generous, end quote. Then he says, but Nikki Haley's generosity with your tax dollars and her support for foreign aid in the context of a $34 trillion debt is in no way libertarian or conservative. So so Never Nikki is trending right now because of Rand Paul. Beyond the issues of endless wars, Nikki Haley's lack of respect for freedom of speech is shocking to anyone who believes in the Constitution. Nikki Haley believes that all internet posters should be registered and verified. This flies in the face of a free American republic whose founders wrote anonymously in the Federalist Papers and routinely posted newspaper articles and pamphlets under pseudonyms. Anyone who doesn't fully believe in free speech or wants endless wars has no business anywhere near the White House. Go to nevernikki.net to show you agree. I didn't even realize there was a website, so I'm going to open that up, nevernikki.net. But wait, there's more. Nikki Haley routinely praised the mission of the United Nations, the results they achieved, and the people who ran it. First up, her quote, I believe the UN does valuable work, end quote. By that, she means your tax dollars, since the U.S. is the primary funder of the UN. Good morning, Trippy Liberty. What's up, my brother? She repeatedly praised the UN Secretary General, former president of Socialist International, and declared that they, quote, think alike. Ew. Did I mention I am never Nikki? By the way, this is trending like number 3 or 4 on X right now. Nikki Haley disagreed with President Trump's decision to pull U.S. troops out of Syria and Afghanistan and defended continued U.S. presence in both places. If you want to move quickly to domestic policy, in South Carolina, Nikki Haley advocated for a gas tax hike, a state-run vaccine registry, and never lifted a finger for school choice. I am never Nikki, and I hope you will be too. So that is the big announcement from Rand Paul. Now, I want to go over to this Never Nikki website that apparently he felt is important to drop a Never Nikki website. So here it is. Oh, there he is. Apparently, let's see. What does it say here?
Good morning, everyone.
Okay, this is the same announcement. Anyway, so he says, I've been watching the GOP primary. Okay, so this is basically the entire thing. And then, but wait a minute. He has people signing up for Never Nikki. You can add your name to a Never Nikki list paid for by Rand Paul for the U.S. Senate. I didn't even put that in the screen, did I? This is wild. I don't know if, now look, I guess it's not for, he's not endorsing any other candidate, but he is very strongly, against Nikki Haley. FTG to all U.S. politicians, all owned by the same ones the Germans had in 1945. What? The Germans had? What? Richo, what are you talking? Period. That's a serious question. Are we proud you are on the other side here? As I said, it has been a while. I do love that magical 6 number in WW2. Okay, Richo, you... yeah, you're probably not going to like my position, okay? And my position has nothing to do with religion or anything other than the fact that one side committed an act of war, and so they got the war that they asked for, and it's unfortunate, especially for the people who live in that area that who didn't have the military capability. The people who attacked had the military capability. So there you go. I'm not even going to talk about it. You can say that all you want. You're free to say it here, and I'm going to continue with my show. So anyway, so Never Nikki is trending. Lots of people talking about Tim Cool. This guy's a total Ron DeSantis guy. Rand Paul turned Never Nikki into a top trend. Say what you want, but it was a smart play on his part. He didn't pledge fealty to Trump. He shined a light on Nikki's negatives and ultimately helped DeSantis, which maybe he did, maybe he didn't. But I think Rand Paul, especially among most Trump supporters, or most people who especially paid attention to what Rand Paul did during the pandemic, has gotten him a lot of respect, at least from the right. Now on the left hates him because he made their precious Dr. Anthony Fauci made him look bad, and so I can understand why certain the left and Democrats, I know redundant, may not like Rand Paul, but he got this trending. Let's see if anyone else is talking about this besides, the same guy, Tim Cool, says, well played. Yep, Never Nikki. Luke Radowski, amazing troll by Rand Paul, not endorsing Nikki. Cassandra McDonald, Senator Rand Paul has launched a Never Nikki campaign against Republican presidential candidate and disgraceful war pig, Nikki Haley. The Kentucky senator said, as I look over the field, I don't think I've yet have a first choice, but I know one thing, count me as Never Nikki. So yeah, that's a pretty big troll there. Let's see. Rand Paul wasn't a fan of Haley from the start when Trump wanted to confirm her as ambassador, but it's easy to be Never Nikki. I encourage Rand Paul to follow his core principles by supporting Ron DeSantis, and as Thomas Massey has done. Okay, so anyway, I'm curious if this is going to hurt. Okay, here's a poll. We'll do a poll on this one. Let's see. Let's do a quick poll. How much will hashtag Never Nikki hurt her campaign? And we'll start with badly. We'll go with a lot or lots. Somewhat, and not at, or no, let's do 5 choices. Barely. Oh, you only can do 4 choices. Okay, we'll do barely slash not at all. And then we'll see how this goes. All right, so there's the poll for now. We're going to see how that goes. Although I got to think that, oh, 80, I was going to say the same thing. Her supporters are the pure MSM types. They kind of are, really. They really are. They're the ones who take everything in the, this is CNN, at face value. Maybe not MSNBC or Fox, but ABC, NBC, all the mainstreams, and CNN that supposedly are, they're just telling the news when they're clearly pushing agendas. It'll be interesting. All right, now some more notifications here. What do I got here? Let's see. Oh, thank you, Six retweeted the show. Thank you, Six. Thank you, Mr. X. Thank you, Trippy Liberty, all retweeting the show this morning. Greatly appreciate it. Remember, next week, 5-year anniversary. We're celebrating all 5 days for our 5-year anniversary next week. All right. Moving on, other things trending. This is interesting. Now, of course, I'm going to give you an MSNBC hot take on Nikki Haley too, which I haven't read this, but I found it funny because Beto O'Rourke was trending this morning. And so this is some thing called Beto Media, and it says Nikki Haley's big problem if she beats Trump. On what planet, Earth 1 through 100, does Donald Trump just walk away from anything after being beaten? Do they think that Donald Trump will run a third-party campaign if he were beat in the primary? Right now, he's beating everybody like a near retirement horse. Okay, is in thoroughbred. But anyway, let's see what. Let's see now. Of course, we have Michael Steele, former Republican Party chairman, on MSNBC, because he's become kind of he's a major anti-Trumper. In fact, he says he's still a Republican, but he's always on MSNBC talking MSNBC talking points. But let's see what they say about this.
You know, you need to figure out how you're going to beat Donald Trump, because you clearly haven't figured that out yet. Because he's
and he wants her to beat Donald Trump so bad.
Up by 35 points. So, you know, this is part of the game. Folks still thinking that something magical is going to happen in Iowa, something phantasmagorical is going to happen in New Hampshire, and somehow Donald Trump is going to sheepishly go off into that great good night after being bested by Nikki Haley. On what planet, Earth 1 through 100, does Donald Trump just walk away from anything after being beaten? This is the man who's been fighting prosecutors. You think he's not afraid to take on the nominee of the Republican Party?
I'm going to give Michael Steele his point there.
This is the reality that the Republican Party has created for itself. From the chairman on down, she and others are culpable for this hot mess that will blow up in November. So the reality for Donald Trump is to keep doing what he's doing, and the reality for the rest of us is to defeat his behind at every turn.
Aw, Michael Steele, you make me sad. He used to be a Republican. But he's like a Bush Republican. He's like a Jeb Bush Republican. That's even worse. Anyway, so those are trending. This is another one. Now this is interesting. Out in Washington State, and this is kind of just some breaking news from was it yesterday? Oh, this is this morning. This is actually this morning he posted this. In Washington State, apparently the Democrats in Washington State are introducing House Bill 2238, which will put a tax on the privilege of using ammunition. This will be in addition to all the other taxes already imposed. According to the bill, any resident of the state who uses ammunition is doing so as a privilege given to them by the state government, and therefore they should pay a tax. Now, I haven't heard of this bill. Let's see. Now, this is after the Bruin ruling. It is disappointing that states are purposely refusing to abide by the Constitution, and that there's no rebuttal from SCOTUS. If judges and politicians willfully break the law of the land, why should the people abide by it? This is one of those really, really dumb things. You realize the right to bear arms, ammunition is an integral part of arms, as opposed to fingers and elbows. But so I want to see something. Let me see real quick. I want to see if I can see write a copy of this bill on the screen here. Let me just do this real quick. Give me a second. Nope, that's Kansas State Legislature versus Washington. Okay, there's Oregon. This is supposed to be in Washington. Apparently every state has a HR 238. Let's go Washington. Okay, Washington State Legislature, HB 2238, as in House Bill. Let's move this over. All right, here we go. Apparently, let's see. And it's been introduced. It's in committee. I don't know if this is clearly unconstitutional. I'm sorry, it just is. Bill history, full details of the bill. Okay, here we go. There's the original bill. Here it is. House Bill 2238, an act relating to imposing a new tax on ammunition, adding a new section to Chapter 82.08, adding new section. Anyway, being enacted by the legislature of the state of Washington. Now, I just want to know the bill. They're doing the rationale. Section 1, gun violence remains a persistent health and safety threat for people across our state. In Washington, a person is killed by firearms every 14 hours, or nearly half of all suicides. And nearly half of all suicides are firearms. What are the other half? What else can you ban if only half? According to the 2022 National Veteran Suicide Prevention Annual Report, when it comes to comparing veterans and United States adults who died from suicide in 2020, guns. This is not a bill. This is just the. Why are we getting the? Do they always do the rationale? I want to hear the bill first. Okay, I think this is going through all Section 2. Okay, here it is. There is levied and collected a tax upon each retail sale of ammunition at the rate of 11% of the selling price. This tax is in addition to the federal, state, and local sales tax and use tax imposed on sales of goods and services under this chapter. So they're going to go on top of the normal sales tax. They want to put another 11% tax on ammunition. The tax imposed under this section does not apply to sales to state, local, and tribal governments for the purpose of supplying law enforcement agencies. Oh, so only to the law-abiding citizens who buy ammo at the gun shop. For the purposes of this section, the following definitions apply. Ammunition means any projectiles with their fuses, propelling charges, or primers designed to be fired from firearms. Ammunition includes any shotgun shell and any rifle, pistol, or revolver cartridge. Wow. So even like ones that are generally used for hunting, shotgun shells. Uncle Bad Touch, good morning. Nice to have you back. We know who you are.
Come on, man.
Let's see. Law enforcement agency has the same meaning as in a whatever chapter. A new section will be added, a use tax levy on every person in the state for the privilege of using ammunition as a consumer at the rate of 11% of the selling price. This tax in addition to blah, blah, blah. We already said that. The legislation intends for the revenue generated from the imposition of the tax imposed in Section 2 and 3 of this act during the 2025-2027 fiscal biennium to be appropriated to agencies and programs that are focused on gun violence prevention, including domestic violence prevention and suicide prevention. So, a special tax. Fan-fucking-tastic. Good morning, Man Squatch. How you doing? I hope my daughter's not watching. I don't think they are. So anyway, there you go. There's the state of Washington going to try to tax your ammunition. Is that going to be unconstitutional or not? Is it an increased burden on people who have ammunition? It's not taking away their rights to buy arms. It's just making it way more costly. So that's interesting. All right, real quick, let's move on. This is interesting. Now, I not all of these are trending topics, but this popped up when I was looking at one of the other trending topics called headlines or something like that. And the Washington Post did something, I'll just say it's odd. Let's just say it's odd, okay? Odd. So this guy posted, they had an article, The State of Political Discourse, comparing black friend totals to see who has more social credit. And they had an article called, How Many People Have Black Friends? Why? But then they changed the title of the article. So this is from January 5th. They updated and changed the name of the article. Nikki Haley talked about her black friends. What do data and history show about friends groups? Now, I have no idea why they did that. It's just a weird little thing. It's like they wanted to slam Nikki Haley. Maybe it's because after she was talking about or didn't talk about slavery that one time when someone asked her the question. I don't know, but it's just weird. And why, again, I'm going to start highlighting. I'm I'm going to start highlighting all I'll call them black scare articles. Okay. Because lately I've been starting to notice that the number of black scare articles has been increasing. And it always happens during an election year. Okay. Because they want to scare us into voting for Democrats, which that's good luck with that. But, at least for me, I'm not saying for every black person, but it's almost like they want every time there's a presidential election year, you get the black scare articles. Okay. You get more things that are designed to create an emotional response. You get presidential candidates, mainly from Democrat side, giving speeches in black churches, just like Biden did the other day. And it's the every 4-year okey doke. I mean, it's like, oh, hey, it's a presidential election year. We're here to remind you that we want you to vote for Democrats, black people. And so we're going to tell you how bad everything is for you. And then we're always going to imply it's because of Republicans or because of, the right or because of the Proud Boys or some shit, and it's just funny. It's just so, it's so predictable. It's amazing how predictable it is. So I just thought, I'll start pointing out these articles as we see them. All right. Next, Vivek Ramaswamy is trending today. And that's because Vivek Ramaswamy has been traveling around Iowa. Well, first with Steve King. Now, Steve King, there was kind of a media hubbub about Steve King a few years ago, calling him a racist, calling him a white supremacist. And I don't know. As I read the thing he said, I'm like, well, wow. He was an easy target. Let's put it that way, because he said some things that you go, well, why would you say that? But then if you actually read the entire context of what he said, you go, oh, well, that in some ways that actually makes sense, and sometimes it doesn't. But anyway, he's been branded a racist white supremacist by the establishment, so to speak. Okay, and they kind of shamed him out of Congress or whatever. And he may very well be. Well, for whatever reason, he has endorsed Vivek Ramaswamy, who clearly is at least melanated, even though it's not the Black American type of melanated, but he's melanated from his Indian roots and whatever. And yesterday, Vivek was going around Iowa, county to county, giving speeches with Steve. I'm sorry, what's his name? I forgot his name already. Steve King. Did I say Steve Smith? I meant Steve King. He was traveling around Iowa with Steve King, but not just Steve King, also with Candace Owens. Now, and it was just an odd juxtaposition. Steve King, Vivek Ramaswamy, and Candace Owens going around Iowa talking to a bunch of Iowans, which in most of Iowa's it's a very unmelanated state for the most part, except for Des Moines and Waterloo and parts of Council Bluffs. But for the most part, it's not a very melanated state. Oh, and Marshalltown too. There's a lot of brothers, but my grandparents were in Marshalltown. So anyway, it was just a weird thing, and so a lot of people are talking about it. Now, the other thing he did is it says here, yesterday I filed an amicus brief with the U.S. Supreme Court urging them to overturn Colorado's disastrous unconstitutional ruling to eliminate Trump from the state ballot. Having tried every trick in the book to eliminate President Trump from running in this election, Trump's opponents have resorted to anti-democratic methods because they fear they cannot beat him in a free and fair election. There are no justification for disqualifying Trump under Section 3 of the 14th Amendment. Okay, these people are pissing me off. There's a better argument. There's a better argument for one reason, that the entire 14th Amendment is supposed to be adjudicated by Congress or through legislation and whatnot. But I wish someone else would say that besides me. But anyway, And the consequences of affirming Colorado's decision will reverberate far and wide to destroy our nation. I felt compelled to do my duty as a citizen and a candidate to make the following arguments to the U.S. Supreme Court. One, if the court blesses the lower court's interpretation of Section 3, that will warp incentives for state decision makers and voters alike in the future. For secretaries of state and state Supreme Court justices who are elected with partisan affiliations, the path to national notoriety will be illuminated to enhance your credibility among co-partisans just to concoct a reason to declare a disfavored presidential candidate of the opposing party ineligible to run for office. That is true. For voters, the message will be equally clear. Scour the records of disfavored candidates for speeches containing martial rhetoric or even policies that had unintended consequences, and then file challenges under Section 3. The number of Section 3 complaints will proliferate, as well the number of divergent outcomes across states, which will fracture our nation to a breaking point. There are also strong contextual and structural reasons for rejecting the Colorado Supreme Court's reading of Section 3. The phrase officer of the United States in the context of Section 3 has never been understood to cover the President of the United States. The President is not a monarch, but he is not a mere bureaucrat either, nor is he an officer of the United States. Although the President may not exercise legislative or judicial authority, he may wield the entirety of the power vested in him within the executive constitutional sphere. From 1789 through the present day, an energetic executive has been vital to the constitutional structure, while the appointment of the officers of the United States remains what it always has been, optional. The U.S. Supreme should reverse the decision of the Colorado Supreme Court. The future of the U.S. election integrity depend on it. So that's his amicus brief. I don't think that's a good argument. I think it's sort of a good argument. Well, no, it's a good argument, but it's not the best argument. The best argument is that the state Supreme Court, nor does the Secretary of State of the state of Maine, have any jurisdiction in this, period. Okay? Let me remind you, Section 5 of the 14th Amendment says, Congress shall execute the provisions of this amendment. Congress, specifically. Now, I was told by somebody, some lawyer guy, that, well, that's some boilerplate language, but the boilerplate language tells you who executes it. And so they execute it through legislation. Now, they can, the Civil War people that they disqualified were disqualified through legislation in Congress. Okay. And then they wrote a law, legislation, that pertains to this. And it's specifically Congress, not the states. And here's why you know it's not the states. Because this happened after the Civil War. Do you think that the new amendment to the Constitution right after the Civil War would give the states the power to determine this, make this decision? I don't think so. And they explicitly said Congress. So I think that's a better argument, but there you go. That's Vivek's take. But I think the bigger reason he's trending is because of some visuals. And let's see. Here is the media accused Steve King. Here's what he says about Steve King. The media accused Steve King of racism and criticized me for failing to condemn white supremacy, whatever that means. The visual image of Candace Owens, Steve King, and me on stage together yesterday was inconvenient to their narrative. You know what, though? Now, and look, I'm not a fan of Candace Owens. You all know that. You've been here anytime. I'm not a fan of Candace Owens, right? But it does give a little. Here, hang on a second. Here. Again, he's somewhat right. Okay. But Candace Owens is not going to bring any black votes to Vivek Ramaswamy because most black people don't like Candace Owens. Even on the right, most black people don't like Candace Owens. At least, there's a let's just say there's a lot of mixed feelings about Candace Owens because, like I say, she's a talking point machine, but I don't know that she's the brightest bulb in the tree, but she's good at, when she's rehearsed, she's fantastic, right? But her sincerity is highly in question. That's all I say. So anyway, this, unfortunately, I don't think this is going to show what he's asking about. This is the crowd in Iowa that's listening to them. But where is the damn picture of them on the bus? There's a picture of them on the bus, and I'm not seeing it. Well, this is kind of annoying. let's see. Standing room only, Iowa. Iowa shifting and Vivek asserting that's a different room. Where's the one with him and Candace? There they are. Well, you can see him in the background there. In Lynn County this afternoon, people have come from all over Iowa to listen to Vivek's speech. You can kind of see him back there, Candace Owens, Steve King, and Vivek Ramaswamy. So a lot of people talking about that triumvirate, so to speak. And interesting, though, I didn't realize that Candace Owens was on the Vivek train. Doesn't have quite the ring of Trump train, does it? The Vivek train. So interesting. All right. Let's see. Is there more? Oh my goodness. Lots more people tweeting out the show. Thank you, Swamp Fox Ghost. Obviously, Six already did that. Mike Savage, thank you. Let's see. Who am I missing here? I already got Swamp Fox and Mansquatch. Did I just say Mansquatch twice? I don't know. Thank you for tweeting out the show. I appreciate it. All right, next is, let's get into wait, what's this? Let's get into another bigger topic, though. And this is Yemen. What's going on in the Persian Gulf? What happened yesterday? And let's start with the article Gunfox sent me. Because apparently American British forces bombed some targets in Yemen because there was Yemen was attacking cargo vessels out in the Red Sea. I guess some were headed for Israel or whatnot. Okay, so here's the AP article on Yemen's response to that. Excuse me, the Houthi rebels' response to that. As soon as I can fit it on the screen, here it is. Houthi rebels vow fierce retaliation after American and British strikes against them. Yemen's Houthi rebels vowed fierce retaliation Friday for American British strikes against them, further raising the prospect of a wider conflict in the region already beset by Israel's war in Gaza. The bombardment, launched in response to recent campaign of drone and missile attacks on commercial ships in the vital Red Sea, killed at least 5 people and wounded 6, the Houthis said. The U.S. said the strikes took aim at more than 60 targets in 16 different locations across Houthi-controlled areas of Yemen. As the bombing lit the pre-dawn sky over multiple sites held by the Iranian-backed rebels, it forced the world to again focus on Yemen's years-long, I should say, which began when the Houthis seized the country's capital. So there's this big civil war going on in Yemen. And I think, it's funny. They, you hear about Gaza, ad nauseum right now, and the protesters are all out there because, there's a lot of people, and the Palestinians have been dying in this war, right? Did you know that like over 400,000 people have been killed in Yemen in that war? And you hardly hear people talk about it at all. Good morning. I'll bet a pay-per-view debate between Vivek and Kanye would make bank. Good morning, Now What Studios, my friend Wu from high school. That's very funny. Anyway, so as the bombing lit the pre-dawn sky, multiple sites held by Iranian-backed rebels, it forced the world. Okay, I already said that. And since November, the rebels have repeatedly targeted ships in the Red Sea, saying they were avenging Israel's offensive in Gaza against Hamas. But they have frequently targeted vessels with tenuous or no clear links to Israel, imperiling shipping in a key route for global trade and energy shipments. And look. Would that make it better if they were only targeting Israeli ships, AP? No, it wouldn't make it any better. Anyway, though the Biden administration and its allies have tried to calm tensions in the Middle East for weeks and prevent any wider conflict, these strikes threaten to ignite one. Saudi Arabia, which supports the government in exile that the Houthis are fighting, quickly sought to distance itself from the attacks and as it seeks to maintain a delicate détente with Iran and ceasefire it has in Yemen. Houthis military spokesman Brigadier General Yahya Sari said in a recorded address that the strikes would not go unanswered or unpunished. Now, yeah, but your capabilities are limited. And you have your own little war in Yemen that you're dealing with. So, you're out here, attacking ships in the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden and all this other nonsense. Yeah, you probably should have sat it out. But you decided to jump in. It's kind of like, it's kind of like how the Hamas attacked Israel. You're attacking a force way more capable than yours. So anyway, that general said that the strikes on the region of Yemen under their control killed 5 and wounded 6 of the rebels' military forces. It remained unclear how extensive the damage was, though the Houthis said at least 5 sites, including airfields, had been attacked. U.S. Air Force Central Command said the strikes focused on the Houthis' command and control nodes, munition depots, launching systems, production facilities, and air defense radar systems. The strikes involved more than 100 precision-guided munitions, including air-launched missiles and ships and submarine-launched Tomahawk land attack missiles. The United Kingdom said strikes hit a site in Bani, allegedly used by the Houthis to launch drones, and an airfield in Abs used to launch cruise missiles and drones. Hussein el-Ezy, a Houthi official in their foreign ministry, said, quote, America and Britain will undoubtedly have to prepare to pay a heavy price and bear all the dire consequences of this blatant aggression, end quote. So he dropped out a little Kim Jong-un warning to the U.S. Now, the Red Sea route is a crucial waterway, and attacks there have caused severe disruption to global trade. Benchmark Brent crude oil traded up some 4% Friday at over $80 a barrel. Tesla, meanwhile, said it would temporarily halt most production at its German factory because of the attacks in the Red Sea. Meanwhile, the U.S. Navy acknowledged an attack days earlier on a ship in the far reaches of the Indian Ocean, an attack that may signal Iran's willingness to strike vessels as part of a wider maritime campaign over the Israel-Hamas conflict. Tehran on Thursday separately seized another tanker. In Sana'a, the Houthi stronghold in northwest Yemen, hundreds gathered for a rally Friday denouncing the U.S. and Israel. Well, I'm sure that's never happened before. Another drew thousands in Sana'a, the capital. Yemen has been targeted by U.S. military action over the last 4 American presidencies. Now did you know that? How many of you knew that? Yeah, this has been going on. The Yemen conflict has been going on for a long time. A campaign of drone strikes began under President George W. Bush to target the local affiliate of al-Qaeda, attacks that have continued under the Biden administration. So, really, that's been going on. How many of you knew that since George W. Bush in office, all 4 of the following subsequent presidents, 3, Obama, Trump, and Biden, have continued strikes in Yemen? I had no idea. I guess I kind of knew. I knew there was a war going on there. I knew that thousands of people were dying there, and there's no uproar at the UN for that. No resolutions on the Houthis genociding whoever the other factions in Yemen are. Interesting. So the war began when the Houthis swept into Sana'a in 2014. A Saudi-led coalition, including the United Arab Emirates, launched a war to back Yemen's exiled government in 2015, quickly morphing the conflict into a regional confrontation as Iran backed the Houthis with weapons and other support. The war, however, slowed as the Houthis maintain their grip on the territory they hold. In March, Saudi Arabia reached a Chinese-mediated deal to restart relations with Iran in hopes of ultimately withdrawing from the war. However, an overall deal has yet to be reached, likely sparking Saudi Arabia's expression Friday of, quote, great concern, end quote, over airstrikes. While the kingdom stresses the importance of preserving the security and stability of the Red Sea region, it calls for restraint and avoiding escalation, its foreign ministry said in a statement. Iran condemned the attack in a statement from foreign ministry sponsor Nasir Kanani. Arbitrary attacks will have no result other than fueling insecurity and instability in the region. Well, are these arbitrary attacks from the American-British perspective? I'm curious. Because if they said that they're attacking spots that drones and missiles have been flying from, that doesn't sound like arbitrary at all. Anyway, in Beijing, Chinese Foreign Minister spokesman Mao Ning called on nations not to escalate tensions in the Red Sea, and Russia on Friday condemned the strikes as illegitimate from the point of view of international law. Well, there you go. Maybe they can go to The Hague on that one too. Let's see. Oman, law and regional interlocutor for the U.S. and the West with Iran, condemned the airstrikes. It called the attack a great concern, while Israel continued its brutal war and siege of the Gaza Strip without accountability or punishment. That's a quote from them. Meanwhile, Friday, the U.S. Navy confirmed an attack days earlier near the coast of India and Sri Lanka. A chemical tanker, Pacific Gold, was struck January 4th by what the Navy called an Iranian one-way attack drone, causing some damage to the vessel but no injuries. Pacific Gold is managed by Singapore-based Eastern Pacific Shipping, a company that is ultimately controlled by Israeli billionaire Idan Ofer. Iran itself has not acknowledged carrying out the attack. So that's, I'm sure they just wanted to throw that little snippet in there at the end. So that's kind of the what happened. So Yemen is trending. I'll scroll down and see a few of these. Scott Adams says Dementia Hitler has gotten America into 5 wars so far, and the citizens are fighting a 6th. And he lists them as Ukraine, Hamas, Hezbollah, Yemen, Iran proxies in Iraq, and illegal immigration. The American citizens are fighting their own war against the federal government's shadow programs of censorship and jailing dissidents. Oh my gosh. And someone says Trump should start off his speeches with 4 wars and 1 invasion ago. That's clever. Select the boys in the house. Yeah, boy. 4 wars and 1 invasion ago. That's funny. The U.S. government appears to become a money printing resource reallocation scheme that operates independent of the people it supposedly represents. Yes, it has. Let's see, what else are people saying here? Millions of people in Yemen's capital, Sana'a, chanting in unison, "We do not care, make it a world war." Interesting. Don Lucre, breaking news, President Donald Trump has criticized Joe Biden for the airstrike in Yemen. Yet another war started by Biden. They said, "I would cause World War III, a complete madman using the War Powers Act against Yemen with F-22 jets and Tomahawk missiles." Vernon Jones says, Democrats are criticizing Biden for illegally attacking Yemen without congressional approval. See, Biden is the real dictator. Perfect timing for Republicans to bring to the House floor articles of impeachment. But the liberal media hates Trump so much, they're defending Biden's criminal actions. So, man. I'm feeling that. What's that? Who sings that song, Torn? It's all right, I'm torn. I'm all out of faith. It's just how I feel. Except I'm not naked on the floor. Let's see. It's interesting. Okay, I am so tired of these warmongers saying Yemenis are so fearless. They have nothing to lose. Yemenis have everything to lose. More than half of Yemeni's population is starving. Can you get that through your thick, privileged skulls? Now, lots of... I wanted to highlight a bunch of the Democrat Congress critters complaining about this. In fact, I have the article. I know where it is. I just remembered. So the real story here, a big part of the story here, is the reaction from Democrats about this. So here it is. Here's the New York Post article. How am I doing? Oh, you know what? No one told me what time it was. You're supposed to tell me it was quarter after. I'm going to do this article, and then we're going to go to the Q&A, and we'll finish the poll results. So this is the last time I'm going to talk about it. Here's the in the New York Post, Democrats are fuming after Biden orders Yemeni airstrikes without congressional approval. And they are arguing that the act was unconstitutional. The president, quote, The president needs to come to Congress before launching a strike against the Houthis in Yemen and involving us in another Middle East conflict, said Representative Ro Khanna of California. The Article 1 of Constitution, is Article 1 of the Constitution. I will stand up for that regardless of whether a Democrat or Republican is in the White House. Oh, shocked. Then here's someone else. Section 2C of the War Powers Act is clear. POTUS may only introduce the U.S. into hostilities after congressional authorization or in a national emergency when the U.S. is under imminent attack, Connor went on, reporting is not a substitute. This is a retaliatory offensive strike. Echoing Khanna, Representative Val Hoyle of Oregon tweeted, these airstrikes have not been authorized by Congress. The Constitution is clear. Congress has the sole authority to authorize military involvement in overseas conflicts. Every president must first come to Congress and ask for a military authorization, regardless of party. Democrats are following the Constitution now? What gives? Representative Pramila Jayapal, a.k.a. Madam, melanated Madam, the head of the Congressional Progressive Caucus, called the U.S. and UK-led bombing campaign an unacceptable violation of the Constitution. Again, she mentions Article 1. Representative Mark Pocan, a Democrat Wisconsin, expressed his fear that Biden's action in Yemen could risk the U.S. getting entangled into another decades-long conflict without congressional authorization. Representative Cori Bush, who needs bodyguards but won't let you have your guns, a member of the far-left squad of congressional lawmakers, called the airstrikes illegal and implored the 81-year-old president to stop bombing and do better by us. Well, he's the chin, yeah. Look, I'm going to give him credit for being right. That's about it. Whose job is it to protect the Red Sea? It would seem that why that's our responsibility, why we would spend money on it, I don't know. But you know what? I guess there is American interest there and worldwide interest, and for some reason we're the world's police. But I gotta tell you, they're right. Taking offensive action in another country rather than just protecting the shipping lanes is a completely different thing. They've attacked. Now, who knows really who's in charge in Yemen, because the Houthis are in charge, but the exiled government still claims to be the government. So I don't know, man. This is a tough one, but I'm going to give them the broken clock theory that the progressives, of course, again, one of the reasons the progressives are so against this is because, oh my gosh, this might help Israel. And that's their only real true concern. So I don't know what to think. I don't know. Anyway, so that's everything that we're going to do as far as articles. I have tons of articles open, and if you want to see what you missed, I'm not even going to go through the headlines because I want to get to the Q. Oh, I never did the Q&A. I never even put it up there. Well, that was dumb. All right, well, we'll do that anyway. Anyway, I didn't know what to put on there. Here's the poll results. I'm going to end the poll, 28 votes. How much will the Never Nikki thing, where the hell did it go? Oh, there it is. How much will Never Nikki hurt her campaign? Some people, 42% says somewhat, 21% lots, 17% badly, and 17% barely or not at all. So that's a pretty mixed reaction from the small sample that I have here. So there you go. Let's do it this way. Since I haven't done a Q&A, let's just do Q&A in the chat. I never did a Q&A. I just realized that. Okay, here we go. Q&A. We'll do it quick. Let's just put one up here. And everyone gets one question today. By the way, also, if you have suggestions of who I should bring on next week as far as the 5th anniversary shows. 5 shows, 5 years, 5 shows. Q and A. That's all it's going to say. Q and A. So you can put some stuff in there. I'll do one more article while I'm waiting, and then we'll do Q&A. Let's see. What do I got here? I have a plethora of items to put on here. Let's see. We're skipping that one. Jill Biden thinks what the Republicans are doing to Hunter Biden is cruel. By the way, Hunter Biden showed up at a congressional hearing yesterday. Not that he was scheduled to, but because he's still refusing to do the behind closed doors deposition. But he showed up, made a 10-minute surprise appearance at before the House Oversight Committee Wednesday before dramatically departing when Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene attempted to question him. At Hunter's side throughout the ordeal was his lawyer, also known as his sugar brother, Kevin Morris. Morris has lent Hunter millions of dollars over the last few years and is currently producing a Puff documentary about Hunter. And we think that might be why Hunter showed up. Good morning.
Stop. Hammer time.
Nomads in the house. Some theory is that Hunter's hearing appearance meant to dissuade lawmakers from holding him in contempt of Congress. As Green pointed out on X, however, Hunter's appearance only accents that he has refused to comply with his House and Senate deposition subpoenas related to the alleged Biden bribery scandal. Hunter's noncompliance is why representatives ultimately voted to hold the president's son in contempt yesterday. Hunter's appearance is also likely meant to create fodder for Morris's upcoming documentary about Hunter. The film seeks to garner sympathy for the president's son and suppress his distasteful life choices, such as drug addiction, hookers, child abandonment, and alleged allegations that he and his father sold out America to foreign adversaries. So there's more in that article. And Joe Biden thinks that, oh my gosh, they're being so mean. They're being so mean to Hunter. Here's Joe Biden. Oh, no, we're not going to do 8 minutes. First Lady Jill Biden said on Thursday's MSNBC's Morning Joe that what Republicans are doing to his son, Hunter Biden, was cruel.
That's right.
Oh, what? Wait, I hit the wrong button. It should have been a sad trombone. Anyway, Mika Brzezinski asked, how have you been coping personally with the onslaught of accusations against your husband and your family, including and especially Hunter as the focus of the House Oversight Committee's holding him in contempt, obsessing over him? Yes. How do you feel? Is that a tough question? You know what I would ask Jill Biden? Hey, let me ask you something. How much money has your husband taken from your son that came from China? Not how do you feel about how the Republicans are treating your son so badly? That's a typical fucking bullshit question that they ask. They softball Democrats. They'll be up in a Republican's hind parts with a telescope and a microscope. But no, let's ask, how do you feel? How do the terrible Republicans make you feel? That's a typical question. Anyway, and her answer, yes, because that's just it. It wasn't a question that she wanted an answer. She gave her the answer to the question. How have you been coping with the onslaught of accusations against you and your husband? Blah, 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 blah. Brzezinski showing pictures of him during vulnerable moments in his battle with addiction on the House floor of the Senate. Oh, vulnerable moments? You mean when he was stripping an underage hooker? This would crush my family. Biden said, I think what they're doing to Hunter is cruel, and I'm really proud of how Hunter has rebuilt his life after addiction. Oh, you mean like doing coke on the White House balcony? I love my son, and it's hurt my grandchildren. Oh, including the one in Missouri, in Arkansas that the family doesn't recognize, and that's what I'm so concerned about. That it's affecting their lives as well. Brzezinski said, what do you think when you hear Trump Republicans what do you think when you hear Trump Republicans calling it the Biden crime family? One congresswoman said the Biden crime family sold out America. Marjorie Taylor Greene, he's a liar. He's mentally incompetent. Let's not even talk about what Let's Go Brandon means and U.S. senators holding signs that say that. Oh, you mean the fuck Joe Biden signs? Jill Biden said, what the other side and the extremists have turned this country into. I mean, we would never see things like that or say 10 years ago. Excuse me? Is it not your husband who just gave a speech a few days ago comparing Donald Trump to the guy with the funny mustache from Germany? We would never say such hurtful things. Oh, shut up. Shut the hell up. All right. Now, let's see if there's any questions in the Q&A, because I failed to put them up soon enough. Oh, look at that. There's a few. So we're going to do them, and then I got to get out of here. Avocados Diabli. How many drinks have you had this morning? And can you step out of your vehicle and do some field sobriety test? Well, sir, I have only have my coffee today in the Duck Duck Grey Duck cup, which is a Minnesota thing, because, you know, any normal people around the country say Duck Duck Goose, but Duck Duck Grey Duck. There you go. And I don't know why they say that in Minnesota. It's only in Minnesota. If you ever hear someone say Duck Duck Grey Duck, they're either from Minnesota or from 3 counties in Ohio, because apparently there's 3 counties in Ohio where people say Duck Duck Grey Duck too. Only place in the world. But you come in here and you say Duck Duck, and everyone's like Grey Duck, and I'm like, what? It's not Duck Duck Grey Duck. It's Duck Duck Goose. Okay, no, I haven't had any drinks, but I really wish I had. No, I just haven't had a lot of sleep. I did not sleep well last night. Selected Boy asks, what's blue, white, and black, and red all over? What's blue, white, and black, and red all over? I've heard what's black and white and red all over. That'd be the newspaper. But what? Blue, white, black, and red all over. I don't know. You might have to. I don't know. Avocados Dabbly, do I really only get one question? Well, I guess that's, I guess no, because you just got, that was 2. Selected Boy, how many licks does it take to get to the gum center of a blow pop? You already know the answer. Anyone who's older than like 40 should know the answer to this. It's 3. 1 lick, 2 lick, 3, and then you bite the damn thing because you want the gum sooner. Avocados Diabli, you sure? That's 3 questions. And so obviously I'm not sure because you got 3. Select a boy. Oh, a dictionary. Why is it blue though? Why is a dictionary blue? What's blue, white, black, and red all over? A dictionary? Well, no, because not all dictionaries are blue. And Lord Stanhope, I'm going to finish with this one. PBR or Old Milwaukee? Oh, wow. I'm going to say PBR. In fact, there's a bar down in Des Moines, Iowa called the High Life Bar. They sell all old brands of beer: High Life, PBR, Schlitz, Falstaff, Grain Belt, all these old regional brands that, basically got all bought up by Miller. And PBR is one of the choices. And they have 16-ounce PBRs for like $2, and PBR is not that bad. Old Milwaukee? I don't think so. And the other reason, the other thing too, is if you go to Milwaukee, by the way, and if you drive around Milwaukee, about in every neighborhood, you'll find a PBR sign on about every 3rd house, because every 3rd building in Milwaukee is a bar and that sells PBR. So there you go. What the difference between dirt and soil? I don't know. Dirt is dirt, and soil is what Biden does to his pants when talking to the Pope. Okay, that's it. No more questions. I'm done. Question and answers over. How do I turn that off, though? I don't even know. End Q&A. There you go. Q&A is over. No more questions. Thank you, everybody, for joining me on the Morning Night Live. Next week, we're going to have the 5-year anniversary extravaganza, 5 days of 5-year celebration. Hopefully, I'll be able to get some guests on short notice because I forgot that my 5-year anniversary is coming up. I would like to thank you. Wait a minute. There's a question in the chat. What? None with a sunburn. Oh. Good God. A dictionary. Son of the PBR is better than a Milwaukee. Yes. These defensive retaliatory strikes, scratching my head, and POTUS is yes. I know. Defensive retaliatory, or are they defensive? These are defensive retaliatory strikes, scratching my head, and POTUS is commander-in-chief, even when we don't like the man. Yeah, you're probably right. I'm not, is it a war? Yeah, no, because they're attacking places where they're getting attacked from. So I guess you're right. All right, that's it. I got to go. Thank you, everybody. See it on Monday and maybe this weekend even, because we might do a trail stop stream just for the shits and giggles. That's it, though. Thank you. I got to go. My name's P-Dog Knight, and I'm out of here. Have a great day. Bye-bye. See you next week for the 5-year anniversary shows. Hey, this is P-Dog Knight, and thank you for watching today on the P-Dog Knight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cash App, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm P-Dog Knight, and I'm out of here.